So limiting factors to getting as fit as possible. So the main one is gonna be, let's see, I'd say the main one's gonna be hydration. If you're dehydrated, it's gonna definitely limit your endurance and your energy levels to want to actually get out there and start training. Second is eating enough carbs. You know, if you're undercarbed, your thyroid can give you some energy for a little while, but then your thyroid will start to dip. Your energy levels will turn shit over long term if you're not eating enough carbs. And yeah, so other limiting factors. Let's talk other things. We got your feet. So your feet can get sore. I recommend building up conditioning barefoot on the beach if possible, in the sand. Um, yeah, in the sands I do. I don't recommend running barefoot or anything like that. I recommend if you're at home and you don't live anywhere near a beach or have a nice grassy lawn, I would recommend just calf raises and shit like that, and just walking regularly with shoes. Um, yeah, because the barefoot on the beach though is really good for strengthening the whole entire foot. So if you live near a beach, that is definitely a hack to becoming a really strong runner in the future, is just strengthening the feet using the beach. So that can be walking on the beach, jogging on the beach, on the hard compact sand near the water, or on the loose baggy sand just a bit up from the shore. Just mix it up, just really drive your toes in and kick up the sand, do all sorts of stuff. Just really try and stimulate all the muscles in your feet. Shoes can restrict the feet from going to that next level. I love when I go to the beach, my feet feel like almost swollen afterwards because they just got like a pump compared to walking around in shoes, even if I'm walking all day long. Um, yeah, so that's a big one. Other limiting factors. So I'd say if you're on the bike, the biggest limiting factor for most people is saddle comfort and chafing. So saddle comfort, big one is the seat. My favorite seat is the Bontrager Montrose Comp. Yeah, so I think comp is typically for saddles that have a little bit of cushioning, so you don't need to. They're not designed for bib shorts, but basically this comp, I don't know what it is. I guess it's a relatively slim profile, but it has a cutout. What I find is with the wider platform, I always thought wider was better when I first started, but with the wider ones, they they're just not as comfy. I get it. They should be more comfy, but they're not. They're basically the comfiest saddles typically are basically designed so you sit on your sit bones, and it shouldn't. It just feels that it should feel the same. It shouldn't feel like into your ride. Oh, it's getting more painful, more painful, more painful. Oh, this is just too painful. No, it should just it shouldn't be the most comfortable thing in the world, because like it should be, from what I've heard, the main thing is it should be like sitting on a brick on your seat bones, and it just it should it should feel like you're sitting on a brick, but it shouldn't feel like the pain is getting worse and worse and worse. So that can be a big one. Getting bib shorts, or in the future I'm gonna have minimalist cycling shorts I'm designing, that it's basically comfy without the bib shorts for regular cyclists, but they allow for better airflow compared to bib shorts, so a little bit less sweat. So limiting sweat is a big one for saddle comfort. So sweat is a major player, because what happens is the moisture pulls the skin and the fabric together, and also the salt in the sweat can also be abrasive, and so this can affect and cause either hair pulling and skin pulling on your contact points, or or just cause straight up chafing, especially with the salt, maybe in between the thighs. Um, yeah, so chafing's not a fun one. Chamois cream can be good. Chamois cream is like a cream to reduce the moisture. And my favorite brand is Slipstream from the UK. It's slightly different to the other chamois creams. It's used a little bit, and it gets very slippery. Where the other ones you use a lot, and then it's like kind of like more gluggy. You need to use a lot. Where this one's designed to use a little bit, but it is a little bit more expensive though. It's not cheap or anything. And it's vegan, and but I try not to use it if I don't have to. I try and focus on all the other things. Having showers after training, before training, really getting soap down there, wash all the salt and grime and dirt off. That's going to reduce the friction. Other ones, what can it be? Can be just using good posture, making sure you're not hurting your back by, laying down on your belly on your phone, or all sorts of bad things with your posture. Obviously if you're at heavier weight, you're going to be at higher risk of your lower back getting all tight and all sorts of stuff like that. So that's also a limiting factor. The lower back, the neck. If that's an issue for you, you can learn like a natural weight belt, which is where you suck in your belly and like your butt all together, and that can like stabilize your core. It's like wearing a weight belt, but the natural way is like you just suck in your stomach, and it braces your core and protects your spine. So that's very important, like for doing exercise and stuff. Can be like bracing your core, but also I guess good posture, just standing more upright and easing into it. You don't do all these hard workouts if you're at a really high body weight. You're going to be doing a lot of walking, a lot of easy cycling, eating super low fat, and that's going to help you shred off the weight without hurting yourself when you're really big. Another one, you can do traction. Traction therapy is type of like a chiropractic. It's not chiropractic, but basically it's stretching the spine in the natural way, horizontal. Sorry, I got a bunch of mosquitoes here. Stretching it in a natural way, up and down. So like doing shoulder hangs, where you hang from a bar, and this can take pressure off the spine and allow it to stretch, and for it to go back into alignment if anything's bulging and stuff like that. So shoulder hangs can be extremely difficult if you're heavy. So a new backs machine might be good for your lower back. It's new backs, NUBAX. And this does traction on the lower spine. You can also get neck traction devices for your neck if you're having issues. If you're having neck issues, a lot of the time it can start in the shoulder. You got really rounded shoulders, and when your shoulders are round, it's gonna take your neck posture out of alignment. So some of the best exercises for shoulders, shoulder hangs, which that's going to be difficult if you're heavy, but stretches behind the head. I like to get a PVC pipe, both hands, but behind my head, and like put it there. I'll show it in another video with the PVC pipe stretch on the shoulders, and just being conscious of that posture. Being conscious when you're on your phone, not having shitty neck posture. Can feel really weird doing good neck posture to begin with, because you'll think people will look at you funny because you're putting your neck all the way up in a weird position, But what are the limiting factors? So limiting factors, getting enough sleep, building it up slowly, and not overdoing the training, learning smart training. So learning an effective dose of training. You don't want to, go out trying to be David Goggins and just be doing so much training that you're not even absorbing it. But then again, you don't want to be doing too little. So you got to kind of learn them sweet spots. Ask any questions you want about training and what might be a good effective training dose for you. Yeah, other limiting factors, let's see, it could be hot weather. So, it could be meaning going out early in the morning um, if it's way too hot. But typically, the hotter the better. It's going to help, boost your fitness, going to help boost your plasma levels and your hydration levels in your body from, that heat acclimation training. But, yes, I guess cold weather is more of a big problem. Cold weather, I guess, you try and go out the hottest part of the day. Or, if I was living somewhere too cold, I would be desperately trying to move somewhere where it might be a little bit warmer, wherever that might be. Um, you can do Zwift or something like that, but yeah, just I I personally don't think humans are meant to be living in really cold climates, and it can make it really difficult to get outdoors and get that training done. Sitting in walking on a treadmill isn't too much fun. Walking outside's a lot nicer. Other limiting factors. Let's see. Limiting factors. I guess maybe yourself. If you find other people that want to do exercise with you, if you try and find local events, community events and stuff, you might meet other people that are happy to go for walks with you, go try and go for bike riding, park run events, all these sorts of things. So sometimes limiting factor, community, having other people that also interested in getting fit. That can be another one. Yeah, if you can think of any other limiting factors, comment them. I'll try and come up with some more, and yeah, we'll keep the conversation going.